everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. One team comes in off a victory, the other comes in off a defeat. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. And call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Nearly lost the football, but kept it after the fumble, but now they face a 3rd down. Now Ben on 3rd and long. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And not great starting field position here for the offense. They'll come out in the pistol. Back near the goal line, Bridgewater. Sammy Coates has it complete. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Second down, Bridgewater. Brought in by Coates. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And it's possible that today the most important group could be the linebackers.
Yeah, the second level, as we like to call them, right? Defensive front has to control things, but the linebackers, they do more than clean up. They help create big plays.
So completion on second down, that brings up third. On third down, Bridgewater. He finds Coates complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Bridgewater now on second down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now the offense in that middle ground here on third down. 3rd and 5. Bridgewater now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Let's go.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Now McKinnon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
There they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Play clock winding down. To throw, Bridgewater. And this one caught by Coates. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now they run. It's Mason. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Parkey's kick is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. Dumps it off to Lewis. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Now, back in my old days, before college, I played a little bit of offense. I used to love to pitch the ball to my backs. How about that pitch right on that play?
Yeah, going right. People run to the right more to the left of in real life and in video games.
That is true. A lot of offenses constructed to run to the right side of the line of scrimmage. Those big tackles, usually your power blockers.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on 1st. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. It's Jelani Jenkins that brings him down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on 3rd.
Could play an exotic coverage.
3rd and short yardage. Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Michael Pruitt, the big tight end, is intended receiver. And it's 4th down.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the 1st down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will tie us at 3-3. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. It's a gain of 24 that time, and that leads to a Chicago first down. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
And they'll run it here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Now Ben on 3rd and long. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. It's brought in by Kevin White. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. On third down, Roethlisberger. Throwing right, and that's complete. 8 yards there and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll come out in the pistol. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. On second down, Roethlisberger. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jonathan Anderson coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down for a loss of 5. A second down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He's got him in, complete. And he's brought down after a good game. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off
and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jonathan Anderson in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of...
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Jelani Jenkins in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. 3rd and long for Bridgewater. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Their dangerous wide receiver, 93 yards. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, punt the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use the speed to get there in the run game.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Mason. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way. Third and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now, and he's accounted for all 9 of their points thus far.
And he's definitely keeping them afloat. But we say it so often, field goals are not going to win you games in the National Football League. They've got to find ways to start capitalizing when they get down near the red zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Let's go.
Bridgewater on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
2nd down following the incompletion.
Let's go. Blue 58. Blue 58.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Here's McKinnon. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Brought in by Coates. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
They come up in an offset eye. Bridgewater. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Michael Pruitt, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
And with that, the lead is up to 8. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Play action. Now Roethlisberger backing up. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Roughing the pass here, but Charles, that's a good call. But these days, you know, quarterbacks, they're very protective.
We know how protected they are, and if it's anything borderline, they're going to get the call. But as a defender, that's hard to swallow sometimes because there's so many of these bang-bang plays.
They'll run here with Mason. And some space here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But if the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. He completes it right side to White. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. It's caught. This is White. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They come out here in the eye. 2nd down, Bridgewater. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jelani Jenkins in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
That's pulled in at the 32. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Bears take over. So now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over. right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. On third down, Roethlisberger. And Jeffrey's got it. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Deep drop. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Back near the goal line, Bridgewater. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Offense comes to the line now, first and 10. With McKinnon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Bridgewater to throw it. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance.
Let's go. 180.
The second down throw for Bridgewater. Incomplete. Sammy Coates, the intended target there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken around the 12. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. So the D-line's going to spread out. He's back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down. 5 yards to go. They'll look to throw. He hits White, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Back to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. Back to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The intended receiver was Trey Mason. And it's second down.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter, you got to feel pretty good as a defense.
And on 2nd and 10 now. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now it's Roethlisberger. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Roethlisberger. He completes it right side to White. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. In the red zone this time. They come out here in the eye. He'll look to throw. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go.
So they'll look to convert that and then hold on here in the final minute to force overtime.
And let's check the nerves of not just the guy kicking the ball, but how about the snapper and the holder as well.
Roethlisberger looking to throw. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
McKinnon. And some room to maneuver. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Jerick McKinnon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Roethlisberger to throw. Surveying the field. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target. Deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
Here's Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. On third down, Roethlisberger. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to fourth down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Minnesota, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bears, well, not much more to say except it was a sheer disaster from beginning to end as they do indeed finish 0-16. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.